Live now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Commsverse. Today, our session is titled Your Intelligent Workspace with Microsoft Teams and AI Builder, and will be presented to you by Nicole Enders.
Okay. Welcome to my session. In the next 30 to 45 minutes, I will tell you how you can build your intelligent workplace with Microsoft Teams. Maybe you think about Microsoft Teams as a tool for collaboration, for having chats, and maybe working together on documents. Today, I want to show you that you can build your own business processes and integrate them into Microsoft Teams. And I have an example. Yeah, it's very standard. So you have service reports, and you may have them printed out, and now you will see a digital version how you can do this with Power Apps, AI Builder, maybe combined with a flow, and then use it directly in Microsoft Teams. Before I start, first, thank you to all our sponsors. Without them, such an event wouldn't be possible, and I hope you are enjoying Commsverse so far. I think there are some sessions following after mine, so please use this option to learn new stuff. Use also the option to visit the booth. So all these sponsors have a lot of tools and information to share as well. So a few words to introduce myself. My name is Nicole Enders. I'm working as a team lead for cloud workplace solutions at CONET. CONET is a company well known in Germany, and we are working in the public sector at most at the time. So for the German government and different sections there, but we are also active in the private sector and building social intranets for our customers, and that is one of my main focus. So I'm kind of a modern workplace expert, and my favorite technologies. A few years ago, I would have said that's SharePoint. Nowadays, it's a mix, so it's the whole Microsoft 365 platform, especially Teams, SharePoint Online, and the Power Platform. And that's why we have this mix in the session today. If you want to stay in contact with me, please follow me on Twitter. You have my Twitter handle here, and I have also my own blog. So if you have some questions or some ideas, you want to hear something, please let me know. So I love to write new blog articles based on your feedback. So please feel free to contact me here. So, but let's start. So it's all about collaboration, because business processes is some kind of collaboration for me. And with Microsoft 365, you see here the screen, you will see if you log into office.com, you have a lot of tools right there. And we have to think which tools are the best. Today's session focus is quite clear, so we can go ahead here. So we won't focus on Microsoft Forms, for example, in this session, but that would be possible too. So maybe you start a business process by filling out a form, and then you have a flow which will do the next step. If you are thinking about tools, please don't start to talk about the tools themselves. So if you want to improve something, then think about the use cases. So which use cases do you have in your company? Have you use case that you want to work together on a document, or are you struggling a lot of because you have your documents only printed out and then you want to use them in a business process, and that's not so easy. That can be a use case for you, so then you need a digital format. Do you have the need that you need to exchange information with each other? So you need have this focus on a communication part. So maybe different departments need to communicate with each other, and at this moment it's not working in the best way. Do you want to spread company-wide information, or do you need a corporate network? Then you need other tools than work as you want to work together on a document, or if you want to have a digital process. Managing tasks, sharing knowledge, or supporting business processes. You see on the right side of the slide, we only have a few tools of Microsoft 365 there. So you can focus on these tools which fulfill your needs, and then you can think about a combination. But please, for the end users, don't talk about these tools, talk about their needs and their use cases, and then you as a technical person decide which tools to use. For example, in my company, a few years ago, we introduced our new social intranet, and we selected SharePoint and Yammer because Microsoft Teams was not there at this moment. So we had, as the technical persons in the project team, we said, okay, SharePoint and Yammer are our tools, but we won't tell the others that these are these tools. So we were talking about, we have a social intranet, we will call it Connect, and because it's connecting people with each other. And in Connect, there is a talk section, and talk was Yammer. And nowadays, everybody is talking about, we have our Connect. Do you want to have a chat or a talk? Then you go in this section. So some of them will know that these are SharePoint and Yammer, but they're not talking about this directly. Okay, and so Teams, nowadays it's part of our social intranet as well. So yesterday I had a session about the coexistence of Teams and Yammer, because that's an interesting topic. If you are using both, you need really good rules which are understandable for everybody. But if you're thinking about using Teams, then you have a few use cases you may think about at first. So what are the use cases? Maybe you want to work together in project teams, or you need collaboration in an org unit or between different org units. You can support communities, or you can collaborate with external users. And if you are working together with external users, that can be your customer, that can be a supplier or a partner. And for my scenario today with the service reports, that could be a scenario between you and your customer. And if you have an option to create your service reports and to sign them, then you have a whole digital version. Today we have, in my demo, we have only half part of a digital version. So I create my service report, the customer prints it out, sends it back to me, and then I have to do something to prepare everything for the invoice. So if you are collaborating with external users, then you may have this digital challenge regarding some forms or documents. Yeah, and there, as you see, there are many other use cases. So as events like ours today, or homeschooling, if the kids have to stay at home and the teachers need to stay in contact with their students, or even phone calls, chatting. So that's the list would never end. So I want to focus here on this collaboration part with external users or maybe between org units. And only a short introduction. I love Microsoft Teams, I have to say. So for me, it's a collaboration tool in Microsoft 365. It's my central entry point and the first application I start every morning. So I see if somebody wrote me a personal message or if I was mentioned somewhere, and I can use it via my mobile phone or my desktop app. So I can stay in touch nearly everywhere. And I have this combination of working in a team room, having a chat with a single person, or even having phone calls and video conferences. So I have a tool for all my stuff for my daily work. And as you see here on the slide, you have the different options. You see your teams. You have this individual substructure in your teams that's called channels, and you see the new unread messages. Maybe if you are mentioned somewhere, as in the daily stand-ups channel, it may be then you can read these messages first, but I always focus on the notifications and the activity feed, so I get everything. And you have the search and command bar, and if you don't use it at the moment, please try it out. If you have more and more teams you've joined in, then this is a good option. If you start with a slash, you will find the go-to command, for example, and then you can change or switch between the different channels and teams very easily. And here, if you are not working with external users, so you're not invited in another tenant, then you won't see this option on the left side of your profile picture. But if you are invited, you see here, for example, in my case, conet.de is my company's tenant, and I'm invited in another tenant, so I can switch between them. And then I can work as a guest there, and I have nearly the same options as I would have in my own tenant. So I can participate in chats, I can work together on documents, I can use different apps. So collaboration in an external way is even possible for me, and that would be the option for your customers. If you invite them as a guest and you offer them an option here in Teams to communicate with you and to um, participate in a business process, then you don't have this stuff to write emails or to have phone calls to talk about something, and you would see something different as your customer. So please think about this. Yeah, and now it's time to think about a business application. So I don't know if you would be this person here. I call her Tanya, and she is, for example, an employee of an HR department, or maybe she's working in a project management office, and she says, I need a business application. And if I say I need a business application, we need a business application. So she is not able to build the business application. She needs somebody who does this for her. But does she really need somebody else? I think that's a story a little bit of the past. So in the past, if somebody said, I need a business application, then he had to write down all his requirements, and then he needs somebody who understands what he really wants, and at the end, you need a software developer who does the work for you. And maybe you get what you want, but maybe the software developer did understand it in a different way. And you say, okay, I got a software solution, but I'm not sure if it fulfill my needs. I can try it, but maybe it's not the right thing. So I have to tell him a little bit more, and then he has to adjust the solution. So what's today? So what's the status quo? I love Lord of the Rings too. So you have 2 slides now with Lord of the Rings pictures, and I want to use a quote. So the world has changed, and I can feel it. I think other people can feel it too. Maybe you feel it. So it's not the situation as in the past. So we have great tools today to build our own applications. Maybe we won't get everything in the right way if we try it for the first time, but for me, it's time for the citizen developers. So you can build your own application. You have to be confident about your skills. Maybe you have to build up your skills a little bit, but think about these 4 hobbits. They are the real heroes in the story of Lord of the Rings. So they are very little persons, and at the beginning they think, okay, we can't do anything to help in this situation. Maybe we have to go and to try it, but we are not confident about ourselves. And at the end, they're standing there. Everybody is taking attention, and they are there. And oh my God, they saved so many lives. They are the heroes of the story. So please, there's no person who is too little or has too less skills to do something. And which are the tools I'm talking about? I'm talking about the Power Platform. So the Power Platform, that's a part of Microsoft 365, and it has some different tools there. As you can see here, Power BI is not so the topic today, and Power Virtual Agents, that's for chatbots, for example, that's not the focus too. For me, it's Power Apps and Power Automate. Power Automate, also known as Flow. So I think you can tell the word flow much better than Power Automate, but I understand that everything in the Power Platform needs to start with the word power. Yeah, and if you see at the bottom, you have some services you can use in this different tools. So you have different data connectors. Maybe you're using different services like Planner, like Dynamics. Maybe you have some external applications or third-party applications you want to integrate in your business process. If you want to work in an extranet scenario or build your public website, then maybe the Power Apps portals can be an option for you. And the AI builder, that's the magic stuff. So if you need something to analyze your documents and you want to get data out of them, then the AI Builder can be your good tool. If you want to have some kind of text analysis, AI Builder is also an option. You will see this in a live demo in a short way. And the Common Data Service, as the last point here, that's I would say it's a database for you, so you can store a lot of information there. And if you are going with Power Apps, then you can decide if you build a Power App which stores data in an Excel file or in a SharePoint list, or you can decide I want to go with a Common Data Service, because then you have a database which can be used from different Power Apps. So you have central data location. Think about if you have a recruiting process. Some people apply for a new job, and then you would store this in this database, and some of these candidates will get a job in your company, and then you have another app for employee management, and you are using the data you already collected during this application process. So common data service is a huge thing. I'm doing other sessions around there where I focus on this. So today, for me, it's the AI builder with Power Apps and a small flow, and then the integration into Teams. So let's start with my service reports. So here you see an example about the of a service report, and in my situation, I used an Excel template. I wrote down what I did in this month, or what the different consultants did, and then I gave it to my customer. Maybe I'm using Teams, and I only upload these Excel files in the document location in my Teams channel. Yeah, and then the customer has to sign this document. And some of my customers, they download this report, they print it out, then they sign it, and they upload it as a PDF. And now, what do I need to do? I need some data out of my service report, because we need to write the invoices, and that's done by another department. So how can I help them that they don't need to open every document and have to read which was the total amount of effort, which was the consultant, and to which contract is this service report belonging. So I start with Power Apps. So I'm logging into the Power Apps Studio, and first I need to use the AI Builder. The AI Builder is not a tool which you will access directly via office.com. So you need to go to Power Apps, and then on the left side in the navigation, you will find a section for AI Builder with two menu items, build and models. And first you won't have a model, so you have to go with the build command, build menu item, and then you see some of the options. So you have the object detection, for example, that's for images. If you want to detect, for example, if there is a traffic light on a picture or something else. But today we are going with the forms processing, because then you can create a model which extracts data out of my PDF, for example. And if you are clicking on form processing, then yeah, you get this this pop-up, and as you can see, it's a premium feature. So please be aware about the costs if you are going with different options. So premium features have to be paid in a different way. It's always changing how much and what you have to do. So first you can start with a trial, and you will see this in my demo environment that I'm going with a trial at the moment, because it's only used for demo cases. And yeah, first you have to name your model, and you see it here that you have also to think about 5 documents with the same layout. So if you have some service reports, then you need to have 5 or more. I also tried it with different layouts, but then it's a lot of more training to be done, because you have to tell your model that in some service reports, maybe the name of the consultant is in a header section, and in other reports, it's in the footer or whatever. So the model needs some help of you to get the right way and to recognize a service report in the right way. Okay, but if you named your model and you click on create, then the next thing is that you are here in a section where you need to upload your documents. And if you upload them, you get here a preview. You can get or upload more documents, but finally you will click on analyze, and then you will be here. And this is the part where you help your model or the AI builder to recognize the right values in your document. So most of things he gets right. In some formats he has some problems. So for example, you see we have a table at the bottom here of the service report. And if you have a table with in this format, everything's right, because then you have the header line of your table and then you have the rows. But if you have a format where somebody said, okay, I have a header line and then I will write a description and after this the rows will follow, then the AI builder won't recognize that this is a whole table. So he will say, okay, I have a first line that could be the header of a table, but no rows are following. So that's not a table. That are only words which are not relevant to me. So then you have a lot of work to do to train the model. Yeah, and here in this case, I clicked on the first 3 lines in my service report. So the contract numbers, the customer, and the decision maker is already selected. And here the project name, that's the next one. And when I click on this, then I get this little pop-up and I can decide if I want to use the name, project name for this property here. I could edit this, or in some cases it can be that it doesn't recognize the whole content. So here in this example, everything's fine. He says, okay, I have a property called project name, and the value in this special service report is social intranet with Microsoft 365. In some cases, it can be that it will only say, okay, social intranet is a value, and then you have to work here with marking the whole part. And if you see, okay, he gets it right, then you can use you can confirm this, and then it will be in the right pane and show up after decision maker. So you click on everything you want to extract from your document, and then that's it. So you will click on done, and then you train your model. Maybe you upload more documents, and you can go through every document if it recognizes it in the right way, or you can correct it. And the next step is that you use this model. And you can use this model in Power Apps or in Power Automate. And in Power Apps, when you start from your model and at this way, then you will have the option to start with a little bit prepared Power App. So this this analyze button we see here in this our screen, that would be there already for you. So it's connected to your model. And then you can add labels or buttons or whatever. So in our live demo, which starts in a few seconds, we will see how such an app could look like. And yeah, you have all these options you have in Power Apps. You can go with different screens. Maybe you will have an upload option to SharePoint, or you add a flow which creates a task and planner if a new service report is uploaded, so that the project management office colleagues know that something has to be done. There's so many options what you can do, but the main part here is this AI model you have built up. And as I said, let's have a look how it's working. So I will switch to my live demo now. And maybe we first start with our application itself. So you see the final result here. I have created a Power App called Service Report Scan. And yes, here is this Analyze button. I added a few labels. Who's the consultant? In which project was he working? And here you will see the data of the data table. It's not so rocket science. So maybe in some cases you wouldn't have seen here this total, because yeah, I have no data at this moment, so it doesn't look so nice. But for this session, I didn't add so many rules here. So if I go with Analyze, and I have here a folder with all my documents. Maybe I would have them in a SharePoint document library. Here for my use case, I have it on my own PC because my customer sent it via email to me. And then I say, okay, let's go with the service report for Eve morning. And now he is analyzing this data. I hope he does this, and the demo god is with me. And if he gets the data, then you see, okay, here I have Eve morning. Here that's a combination. So we have two lines. We have a project number and we have a project name. So I have a combination here, and then I see all the different rows of my data. I get the total here, and I have the data of the service report. And then I can say, okay, I saw everything. It looks nice. Now that's my job as the project manager, and now I want to send it to the team who will create the invoices. So I say share with my team. So, and because that's a demo case, I don't have some messages that all this process was successful or not. So at this moment, I have to think about where should I find this information. And for me, I know I send it to a SharePoint library. So I go to my SharePoint library here and I refresh it. And I see, I have a new service report from Eve morning. I see here, okay, it belongs to the following contract number. I didn't see the contract number here in my Power App so far, so I got more information as I showed in the screen. And here I can have a look on this data. Maybe I want to have a look in the document itself, so I can see this here. So what did I do with clicking on this button? I uploaded a document in the SharePoint document library, and I added additional metadata as I wanted to have. So contract number, customer, whatever I need, because maybe my colleagues in the project management office, they want to work with this data and they have different views, or maybe a flow is using this data to create a task and planner, for example. Yeah, and what's the last step I want to show as a final result before I show you the Power Apps stuff a little bit more in detail is here I have a team for service report management. And if you start with teams, then you would only have the general channel. And I added a second channel, and I said, okay, that's for the service report scan part, because maybe the service report management will have some other stuff they have to talk about. That's the purpose of the general channel. And here, everything can be done from scanning the reports, working together, seeing what has to be done there. And as you can see, I added a new tab for the service report scan, and that's Power Apps. So I think about that could be my Power App. And as you can see here, okay, I click on this. I have integrated this Power App here. And now you can think about if this team has only be used by the project management office, or if every project manager can use this team to upload the documents. Or maybe he will be at the customer's office. He will get the printed out version of his customer, and maybe he will use his mobile phone, take a picture, upload the document, and it will be available for the project management office immediately. So if you need a very fast process where the project management office doesn't have to wait such a long time between creating the service reports and then getting the information and creating the invoices, that could be a good option for you. So that's the integration part. We have also the service reports themselves. That's an integration of this document library we saw here in this other tab. Yeah, and maybe here is Planner. So that would be the way if you have a flow and you add an action there to create a planner task during the process of storing the data in this document library. So let's go into Power Apps itself. So I have a few minutes left. And if I'm here in the Power App Studio, I said, okay, AI Builder, that's for building the model. So if we are here in the build process, we have here this form processing. We saw this in the slide. And here is this reminder that I am using a 30-day trial of AI Builder, because otherwise I have this stuff with the premium features and I have to pay some extra money. And if we are here in the model section, we will find, okay, I created 2 different models. So I will go here in this demo model so I don't break anything for the remaining demo part. And if it loads correctly, then we will see that we have here our model. We can do a quick test. We could train our model, and you see here which are the selected fields. So here I have all my values. I can see more, and here is the way where I can use my model. So if you create a new model and you have done the training of your model, then you have to click on publish. Please don't forget to publish your model and to share it with others, because otherwise you will see this, but nobody else can use your model. And if you have done the publish process, then you can click here on use the model in Power Apps, and then your Power App will be started. And it will not look in this way at the beginning, so you will only start with this one. And what's this? If you want to start from scratch with your Power App, then you will find here AI Builder, and here is the forms processor. So you can integrate this later on in the existing Power App, for example, if you want to go with this way. At this moment, I'm going with this option that I created my Power App via the AI model, and then here I add some new labels. I use the concatenate function to have a description before this, and then you see, okay, here's scanner. That's the name I gave to this analyze function. So if you start without changing some names, then that would be the form processor 1. And then you would have here form processor 1 dot fields dot the property name you gave. So in my case, it's consultant. If you go here, you have scanner fields project number. So you see if you have some blanks here, then you need this bracket to recognize the right field. Here is total. That's here, they're the same. And here I added a data table with different columns, so I can use this here. But let's have a look on this button. What are we doing here? And I say format so we see it in a better way. So I have here upload service report dot run, and run means that I'm using a flow here. And in this flow, I need to add every value the flow may need. And where do I need which flow or which fields are needed by this flow? That's very easy. I go here. I have here my flow. I created it via Power Apps, but here I see I have a trigger that I'm using this in Power Apps. And if I go here, I think, yeah, everywhere when you see in a flow this Power Apps icon, then that's a property you ask for in Power Apps, and these are the parameters you have to fill out if you run the flow there. So I said here I need the contract number, the project name, and so on. And what am I doing here? Here I'm transforming the image I get from this analyze function in Power Apps, and that's a real image, and I want to store it as a PDF. So I need to transform it as a PDF. Then I can create my file in the document library, and later on I can update my properties. So that's what the whole flow does. If I want to add a new step, maybe for a task in Planner, or I want to create a message in Teams that to inform the other people, then I could do this and I could add as much actions as I want. So if I go back here, then we have here this command, and after this I could have add an action to navigate to another screen to inform the other people that this action was successful and that I can upload new data and so on. But for this form use case, I didn't do this. So let's go back here. And if I look at my time, then it's time to go back to the last slide I have. So if we have some kind of a wrap up, how should you start to build your own intelligent workplace? So first thing, think about this hobbits, take responsibility, be a citizen developer, and think about all the ideas you might have. Then learn to use the tools of the Power Platform. And I would recommend start with Power Apps, start with a Canvas Power App. Maybe you use an Excel file or SharePoint list to store your data in, and then go ahead. If you start with Power Apps, then you will reach the point where you need a flow to build up. Then get familiar with all this Power Automate stuff to build your custom flows. And then maybe you use AI Builder as I did in this session. And if you learn more and more, you get different experiences, and I think you will have a lot of fun there. And if you start, create a quick win solution, as I did, for example, with an integration into Microsoft Teams. So think about a process which is a little bit boring for you and you want to improve something. Don't build the biggest application you're thinking about and you would need multiple weeks or months to do this. Start with a small example and show it to others. Inspire your colleagues. That's important. So think about a team. So together we achieve so much more. And if you are doing this, don't forget to share your knowledge, talk about what you are doing, learn as much as you can if you talk to others, and yeah, visit events like this one. There are a lot of online events out there at this moment, and most of them are for free. So I wish you all a great journey for doing your business solutions now. And yeah, that's the end of my session. So please, let's connect. Let's stay in touch with each other. I always love to talk to you and to discuss different ideas and so on. So I learn every day something new. And yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Unfortunately, we don't have time for questions, but we hope to see you in the post-session networking link that I'm about to post right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.